why talking about tech actually lost me a lot of clients. And if you're someone who is also and why it can like be the same for you. And what do we do instead? So if you're someone who does freelancing or has a business, or I don't know, like is like looking to start a business, or also even in the employment market or trying to get a job or whatever, I think this would be like really valuable for you. I'm just going to share my experiences on what happened when I actually like talked about tech. Now, yeah, and especially like if you're working in the tech industry. Now, when the problem was when I started freelancing, I lost clients on call, and not because I couldn't deliver the solution that they asked me for, but because of just how I framed myself and talked about the solution. I thought me just talking about all these tech solutions, oh, you know what, I'm going to use make.com and connect this API to and use that JSON, and we're going to like give you this outcome. But the hard truth is that business owners or company owners don't really don't give it don't give a thing about tech, but they care about is outcomes. How much money can you make us, or how much what's the value that we get out of hiring you? That's basically what they're looking for, or how much time can you save us? And what I was doing wrong, tech first. Yeah, as I said, on sales calls, I would just say, I'm going to use make.com with this specific model to get the data in, and I'll use API to connect and whatever. So, yeah, all of those jargon. And as much as I thought that this just made me sound like an expert, and I just know my thing, and it would just like make them confused to like, okay, let's just give this guy a shot. But yeah, showing I know my stuff. And but what the client actually heard, technical jargon they don't understand. Someone focused on tools and not results. It just instantly frames me as an employer, a normal employer, and not someone who owns my outcomes, which is what these people are actually looking for. Um, and which is decreases my competence by a lot. A person who builds what they're told and not what they need. And what happened next? The clients like often got into like objections. Like they started throwing objections. What certifications do you have, and how much experience do you have to work with this? Okay, so you're a student. How are you gonna manage this? And do you have time for work and all of these stuff? And why this happened? Because I just like positioned myself as a technical executor and not an outcome owner. And I think this thing is huge. Positioning my oneself as an outcome owner brings its own responsibilities with it, but I think it's completely worth it with the rewards that you get out of it. And yeah, so basically, technical executors need credentials to prove competence, are judged on tools and experience, and basically build what they're told to build and are easily replaceable, which is what I think. And which is what I did, and I was losing clients on call. What did I change to like actually then start? Getting clients more engaged. And when I changed this one approach, it just really changed things, and now clients were like really interested in me. And the conversation started more interesting and not really like intimidating for me at least. And after several failed calls and some feedback, and I realized that my problem wasn't my probably my skills. It was exactly on how I was positioning myself. So what I did was I stopped talking like a technical person and started talking like a business consultant. So what does a consultant do? They understand their business language and speaks their business language and not the tech language. And basically, I just walked through their pipeline. Now, what does pipeline mean? If you don't know, pipeline is basically the process that happens in a business from a customer, or taking in a lead to like actually making them a customer, and then goes on to like retention and stuff. So yeah, when you just walk them through their pipeline, ask I just so now my calls are just, I don't start with a solution. We start with the actual bottleneck, and we start speaking in outcomes and not tools. And when you start doing this, when I just realized when I started doing this, clients just like gave me out their problems, and it also made me look much more like someone who gives clarity and not more confusion to their business. And yeah, the technical as I've said, like the technical executor like just needs to prove experience and credentials and solves the stated problem. Now yeah, all these companies like I don't know, they state a problem and this person just solves it for them and get paid for time deliverables, which is okay. But then an outcome owner identified the real problem, so we walk them through. And a lot of the times clients usually like know they have a problem, but most of the times there could be an underlying problem which they don't actually like talk about or probably don't know, and it's yeah, sounds kind of like silly, but is actually the case in a lot of businesses. And because these businesses are like really busy running their business and yeah, don't really like sit down to think about it a lot. And yeah, so we talk about results and impact and how we can actually bring in results which we are actually going to work and bring for them, and improves understanding through questions. And yeah, this is important. I'm just going to like go through that and solve the actual bottleneck and get paid for outcomes. And when you get paid for outcomes, you can just get paid a lot more, is what I've or at least your sales get a lot more better and less awkward, I'd say, with lesser objections. And yeah, once I started talking about results and how I can like actually solve their problems and help them make I don't know, more money or save them more time or bring them more quality leads or whatever, it just started they just started relating, and they were no longer like objecting. And this just brought very less price objections usually, because I just give them a set guarantee basically. And which one do you think gets hired at high rates? At least for me, it was like when did outcome first. And yeah, so step one, we need to understand their pipeline so that we can do it. So instead of jumping to solution, I asked about their process. So I usually just ask like, walk me through how you currently get clients, and then I listen for like so first thing I understand, okay, so how do these people generate leads? And okay, so leads come in like that. Okay, so and I also assess like what's their sales process. So what do they do with these leads that they get? How do they like turn them into like paying clients? And what marketing are they doing to like acquire more I don't know, inbound leads or something? And finally, like how do they retain customers? So yeah, I just walked them through this pipeline of like, okay, leads and sales and customers and any retention, and immediately shows I understand business. And I usually just don't talk about AI unless they specifically ask me to. And yeah, not just automation or tech or anything fancy. But yeah, and then dig into their problem. So most clients don't know their real problem; they know a symptom, and not the bottleneck. So they know, I don't know, they have fever or something, but they don't really know like what caused it. And our job is to like find my job is to like find the real issue through questions, and which is really important. Now, okay, what yeah, and usually when we just talk about their pipeline of how client leads come in, they just give it out to you. Like they say, you know, I get these leads and I spend one of my clients just said on Tuesdays and Thursdays I just take up all those like calls that they do for their top of the funnel, basically just to like get leads. And they just get them on this like free 15-minute call. And I just asked, okay, so how many they usually they didn't say like how many calls they got, so I had to ask how many calls do you get per week. And I schedule calls like Tuesday and Thursday. And okay, so how many people actually show up? And you know what, they actually said, well, not many consistently, but they like, yeah, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays I do have my calendar booked. But then a lot of these people just lie. Now that just gave me something. So okay, so if that's the case, then probably that um, they do get a lot of leads, but the leads are not high quality. So my solution can be something around, okay, what if I can like generate you, and I just asked them, so what if I can generate you higher quality leads, and which can like save you time instead of like getting on these calls with like low quality leads who are not really like your ideal customers. And you know, they just like, they were really smiling very much. That would be amazing. And you know, I felt how easy this was, and how less awkward this conversation was, rather than like, okay, I build APIs and I don't know, like I set up this MCP server to here, and they would just be like, okay, great. So and yeah, it just brings all of the objections about price and all of that. And what just happened, they said they need help with follow-ups. And usually when digging into those problems, I always very consistently ask them, is that right? Okay, so you said you schedule calls on Tuesday and Thursday. So, and you said that you get like, I don't know, 5 calls a week. Is that right? And they say, yeah. So you said that. So out of these 5 calls, like 3 of them are just lying. So that, does that mean that you have like lower lead quality? Do you think that's the right thing to like assumption to get out of that? And they just say yes. And what this is like really important, because this just like makes them confirm and accept by themselves that they have a problem which needs a solution. And yeah, so they just said the real problem is lead quality. And when clients give vague answers or lie about volume, so yeah, that's the signal, and that gave me that they didn't have qualified leads. So yeah, keep asking and keep digging into the problem. And a very important thing, be confident. And I'm the last person who should probably be saying this, but I think the key to like getting confident is just doing it over and over again and not actually focusing on perfectionism. Just get on as many calls as possible and just keep doing that, and don't expect yourself to be like just, oh, don't keep trying. I mean, what I mean is just get on as many calls and you'll just be confident as you just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And press on the pain points. So once you identify the bottleneck, confirm it repeatedly, get them saying yes, 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 as I said. So if I'm hearing you right, so I'm just like, what can you through this? And if we could fix the lead qualification process, you'd save those like 10 hours and actually close more deals. And the client was like, yes, that would be huge. And yeah, now they've told you their exact problem, the pain it's causing, the value of solving it. You didn't pitch, they just sold themselves. I mean, we're not actually like, I used to think that selling or sales was this thing where I'm just like fooling someone, or convincing someone to like take a decision that they wouldn't have otherwise made. But basically, what we're doing is we're doing sales, but we're actually like also helping them. And I mean, bringing in more quality leads for a reasonable price. Below that, we're just like taking a part of it. Basically, we're saying, okay, so that means that if they have like a $3,500 program. So if we bring in just like two leads per month, that's like an extra $7,000 a month. And why would they like mind spending like, I don't know, 2,000 or $3,000 on me if I just bring them the extra? I don't know, my math ain't good, so I mean it's pretty good, but yeah, you get the points, right? Frame the solution and outcomes. Now that you know the problem, frame your solution. So instead of like talking about tech, we say we build a system that pre-qualifies your leads. And yeah, when we're framing a solution, we just again get to the problem, and we solve this using a problem before they get on your calendar. And yeah, just keep repeating what's the return on investment that they're getting in terms of time, in terms of money. I mean, money would be first. In terms of money, oh my bad, just a second. I would probably have to like set up some editing, automated editing, which just like takes off all these like pauses. But anyways, yeah, so money and saving time. And the other yeah, we just have to like keep repeating what our system would essentially like bring value to them. And also missed opportunity cost, which is like a big thing. So if you're saving like 10 hours a week, and let's say that, oh, I don't know, they take like 1 hour calls of like, I don't know, $500. So their hourly rate could be like 500. So you could like do the math, and okay, so 10 hours would be like, I don't know, within the 10 hours saved, if you just take like 5 hours of calls, that would be like an extra 5 into 500, $2,500 on your thing. And yeah, you just have to like do the math and show them. And usually like unless it's like explicit money that they're making, we have to like keep showing them the value that our system is generating, which would just make more difference, I'm thinking. And yeah, yeah, so that is basically it. Only talk about tech if they explicitly ask, and even then, I always try to redirect it back to the solution, and that just has made my conversations more interesting, and the sales more easier. And yeah, how I close now. Yeah, I just propose a solution in a way where it focuses on the problems and how it solves it, and not actually on the tech that I use to solve it. And usually, clients don't just care about like what tech I use, how much time it takes to make me like, I don't know, like if it solves it for them, that's all they care about. And yeah, I kind of like knew it before, but yeah, I don't know, I wasn't just confident enough to like get to like framing myself as this outcome owner, which took some confidence. But yeah, upon like more inputs, more getting on more calls, I just got it. So yeah, um, and yeah, and usually when I get on sales calls with leads, after that I send them a proposal. And yeah, in this and I just use it using an AI automated system, which basically takes in the call recording, and from that just frames the problem and solution. And usually when this is the case, we just show the value in the proposal of like what we're doing for them. And then when we bring up the price, the objection is a lot low. And yeah, and we make sure that we fulfill what we promise. So yeah, and before was this after examples. So yeah, there's some couple of examples that I did before, which like changed when I shifted my framing. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through that because yeah, that's basically like what I said. You can like obviously like look through it if you want. So yeah, and yeah, why this works. This is a big thing, which is clarity sells and confusion doesn't. Well, when I talk about tech, like client just doesn't understand and they question about everything. And when I talk about outcomes, client immediately understands the value. I mean, yeah, they see and this they just know that you're an expert and you show them that you understand about business. And now they view you not as an employer but as a strategic partner, and you're competing on results and not credentials. And yeah, the tools doesn't matter to them, which was yeah, the results do. It was like hard for me to like get to this, but yeah, eventually thankfully I got there. But yeah, as I said, now just wrapping everything out, speaking the language, we ask about the lead generation, their sales process, and anytime they say something like, okay, we do so many leads, or like, yeah, just be a good listener here and try to like understand their pipeline. And yeah, just keep asking questions like, okay, so you said you do this method, so how many leads are you generating? Or ask a lot of how many questions and see where they just like would lead you to their problem usually. And yeah, and that's basically everything in a like in a good way. So key takeaways. And talking about tech didn't position me as a I mean positioned me as a technical executor. And talking when I started talking about outcomes, my positions and my results and my enjoyment of like getting on calls increased, and also the awkwardness decreased much. And it also understand their business language, and this is like a very good skill to have because it doesn't just work in business settings. It also like if you're doing this for jobs, like I think you can do that as well. And me, on a visa, I'm a student and an international student, and I'm on a visa, and I'm not allowed to do business. So I'm actually thinking of like doing a similar approach to like get jobs, and actually like get to the strategic instead of just being a technical person, get like kind of like frame myself as an outcome person and work my way up. I'm thinking about that, but yeah, confirm the pain point repeatedly until they sell themselves on needing a solution, and we just solve it for them. Frame everything in time saved, money made, and problems eliminated. And another thing, which is like opportunity cost, which is so what the time saved, like what's the opportunity? If not for this, like what are the opportunities that they might miss? And yeah, only mention about tech if they explicitly ask, but redirect back to outcomes. And if you're taking one thing from this video, clarity sells and confusion doesn't. So yeah, we just have to stop sounding like a developer and start sounding like a business consultant. So yeah, if you hopefully this was valuable. And right now on YouTube, I don't really know who my audience is, so I'm just throwing all these things that I've learned into, and hope this is valuable for a set of audience. And if you like really resonated with it or want to make specific want me to make more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and that would just let me know, okay, so these are my audience and I need to like who are the people that I need to provide value to. And yeah, hopefully that gave you some value and understanding, like yeah, understanding this could like easily as I said, start making your calls much more you can close many more deals, and also much more enjoyable. And yeah, just like much more less anxious, I would say. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and have a lovely rest of the day. Cheers.